how Iranians feel about these elections and their reactions, their initial reactions to who's on the ballot.
Well, Laura, in quite a few days, the atmosphere from the funeral ceremonies has shifted to political campaigns. This presidential election was expected to happen next year, but it is going to be held, within a couple of weeks. And it was supposed to take place after the elections in the United States. Some impacts maybe was expected as a result of, the elections in the United States, as there have been discussions about Donald Trump, likely running for the election. But this precedes that election and independent of the American, elections. And we are seeing that, some candidates being qualified, some being disqualified. And I think in the coming days, the public, those who care about the elections, will be watching the programs on TV, specifically those live televised debates among the candidates, to see that who can somehow best fit this this chair in order to be the next president.
OK, some qualified, most disqualified. Sanam, let's have a look at who did not make the list. And a couple of the better-known names, at least outside of Iran, are the ex-president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, and the moderate Ali Larijani. Why, for example, did they not make the cut?
Well, I think both candidates have particular portfolios. Former President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is a controversial figure, one who left office not on the best of terms with Iran's supreme leader and the political establishment. He's also perhaps seen as a threat and very much a populist that could upend a conservative control of Iran's elected and unelected institutions. Ali Larijani, it's interesting that he is called a moderate today. He is still, in my mind, very much a conservative, but someone who has become much more pragmatic and perhaps more open in his engagement domestically in Iran, but also internationally. He's still loyal to the system, but he's perceived, because of perhaps his political inclinations, to be someone that might also challenge the system and the conservative dominance of that system from within. His brother, also Sadegh Larijani, was head of the judiciary. He was disqualified from Iran's Assembly of Expert elections, not obtaining any seats there as well. So the family that was long very important in Iran's political establishment has been pushed to the wayside. I will also add that the number of women that put themselves forward also were not qualified to run for president by the Guardian Council. And women to date, over 4 decades, have yet to receive Guardian Council approval to run in any election.
Mehran, perhaps you can give us some insight as to how the Guardian Council chooses these people. I mean, as Sanam says, anyone who challenges the system has not made this final list. What are the parameters for who is deemed acceptable as a candidate? And can you give us a bit of an idea as to how they've narrowed over the years?
That's a really good question, but one that we really don't know the answer to. The Guardian Council operates in tremendous opacity and lack of transparency. And from one election to another, it doesn't appear as if they have any consistent criteria. Obviously, the Guardian Council coordinates very closely with the Office of the Supreme Leader in terms of who is and who's not qualified to run for the presidency. And what we've seen is, as you mentioned, over the last several years, an increasing narrowing of the political space. And so increasingly, the Guardian Council has been very instrumental in what in Iran is commonly perceived as engineering elections in order to produce particular outcomes. We saw this in 2021, and we appear to be seeing it again now in 2024.